Hello and welcome back to another Dominion League match. Today I am commentating amoffett11 versus mikechike, who are in the B division. I don't remember whether they're B1 or B2, and a little late getting the recording up and running, but not too late. We're right at the beginning of game one. They've each opened with a chapel. And so what else is going on this board aside from those chapels? Silos and expedition for events. I don't think silos is going to be super relevant because all those coppers are going to get trashed pretty quick, but maybe there'll be a... It's certainly not in the opening. You wouldn't want to do that. mikechike grabs an Ironmonger. Amoffett grabs an Ironmonger. Ironmonger is certainly a good card. So... draw-wise, you pretty much got gear. Ironmonger can draw you cards, but only if you've got green cards, which is not going to be relevant early. Oh, and expedition, of course. So is there any plus buy to help out with that? I don't see it. So that's unfortunate. So you can't build super big with this with no plus buy. There is treasure gaining in the form, at three different forms actually, between Trader, Soothsayer, and Treasurer. So it shouldn't be too difficult to keep a deck that's capable of purchasing a province once you start gaining. Tracer says silos or gear, probably prefer to Ironmonger. I get gear, I don't get silos. I think, when you're opening chapel, like, yeah, you want to trash quickly, but you're going to trash pretty quickly either which way. I think you want to get something into your deck that is actually going to help you build up. But then again, Tracer's a much better player than I am, so I could easily be wrong about that. So... in any case, I would imagine that the goal here is to get probably just a treasure, probably not a soothsayer, because the chapel trashing is going to be strong enough that the curse distribution isn't going to be super relevant. Although, well, treasure isn't actually treasure gaining if there's no treasures in the trash, and you're not going to want to gain copies from the trash. So maybe you do want Soothsayer just to gain the golds. Then again, maybe you don't need gold because you can just play Conspirators. The problem with that, though, is that, again, there's no plus buy, so you want to have the ability to get those gains. So yeah, I think using the gain you get each turn is too valuable. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, an early expedition on a 3 could potentially be fine, but you shouldn't be buying expeditions in general. I think, though, that getting a Soothsayer makes sense just for the gold gaining. I think that would be pretty nice. So Amoffett is going to pick up a Conspirator. Yeah, I mean, so you can have a really nice deck where you have some Ironmongers and some Conspirators, and you have 8 and then you buy Province. But then, I guess if you also have Gears or Warehouses, a deck like that could stay consistent for a pretty long time, but again, you're buy limited, and I just wonder whether getting a Soothsayer would be faster. Let's see what Tracer thinks about Soothsayer. Alright. He agrees with me. I feel happy. So Mike's first 5 cost is a sentry. Yeah, I don't like that. You having a sentry in your deck is certainly nice, especially once you start greening. Sentry can filter out the green cards, although Ironmonger can do almost as good of a job, in the sense that if it does hit the green card, it draws you a card, which is nice. But right now, I mean, you've already got Chapel for trashing, so you don't really need Sentry for trashing. I think I would have preferred. I definitely would have preferred Soothsayer to Sentry. I might have also preferred Treasurer. Yeah, I mean, I think I would have preferred Treasurer. There's also been no gears purchased, which is a little odd to me because once you start adding green to your deck, that's going to be a good way to keep things reliable, both in terms of holding over actions or in terms of removing green cards from shuffles. You do need a decent number of Ironmongers to be able to play the gears non-terminally, though, which is an issue. It's actually it's kind of an awkward board because there's a lot of things you can do, but you can't do any of them very quickly. Okay, so Amoffett picks up the Soothsayer. They each have 1 sentry, or do they? Does Mike? I think mikechike has 2. I guess he doesn't. I guess they each have 1. Yeah, they each have 1. Okay, never mind. Well, I think I would go for the Soothsayer here as mikechike. But then again, I've been saying that for the past several minutes, so that's not surprising. And basically, I think it's at the point where you're going to start greening, and then you're going to dud a little bit, but because you only have one buy per turn anyway, I don't think there's much reason to hold off on greening in order to build more. You might as well play for upside. That's something I will freely admit I'm not probably the best at judging, but okay, well, Amoffett, I guess, agrees with me. Oh, I didn't notice that mikechike had gained another Ironmonger last turn. Yeah, I don't like that play. It's going to be hard to continue to activate all those conspirators, I think, once he adds green to his deck. Maybe it won't be that bad, because even if you play Ironmonger for draw, so long as you hit a couple of the Ironmongers, then you can play all your conspirators. Still would have liked to see somebody get gears at some point so that they could make sure that their next turn is good. For instance, mikechike ended his turn with an Ironmonger in hand. And I think that would have had to come on the opening, or very, very near to the opening, maybe second, after the first shuffle or second shuffle, something like that. It's a little late now. Oh, that is not a good turn. That is not a good turn for a Moffat. That's going to let potentially mikechike get back in the game. He plays the Conspirator over the Soothsayer, which is interesting. It does mean he can buy a 4-cost. But I would have been tempted to play the Soothsayer just to give out the curse. Like, mikechike is certainly also at risk of dudding. Should have top decked the province. Why? Why does it even matter? He wasn't going to draw another card. Oh, no, no, I don't know what he's trying to argue for there. Well, now the question for a Moffat. Who went first in this game? Oh, mikechike did. So a Moffat still got the advantage. Now, I do wonder whether it was correct to play the Soothsayer there, because that gives mikechike a better turn, and the 1 point kind of doesn't matter because mikechike loses to a province by anyway. So a Moffat just wins if he can buy a province the upcoming turn anyway. So then maybe he wants to say, well, what happens if I dud? And if he duds, he wants to make sure that, you know, mikechike can't have a good turn either as much as possible, which means not playing the Soothsayer, maybe? Oh. Well, didn't matter. Didn't dud. Buys province, wins the game. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I think... So they had... Amoffett had 2 Conspirators, mikechike had 3 Conspirators. They each had 2 Ironmongers. Amoffett had a Warehouse. I don't remember when he picked that up. He must have picked it up on his dud turn. Yeah, I think the Conspirators were the biggest problem. I think those were not the way to go. Alright, so now we have Sewers, which can turn Jack into estate trashing, which is cool. Or you can just do Sauna, Silver trashing. There's also Altar and Count. So there's a lot of trashing. You can also trash if somebody swindles you, which is fun. So is there anything in on this board other than trashing? Well, there's Ghost Ship. So this could be and between Ghost Ship and Swindler, this could be a pretty painful board. So do you trash copper here because you have the opportunity to do so? Or do you just trash another estate? Each goes for the other estate. I mean, there's other sources of trashing, so it's not like you have to do that with the Jack. There's a lot of silver going around right now, which makes sense because there's a keep in the kingdom, which I didn't even mention. So do you buy... Oh, Stonemason... Oh, that's... Yeah, I didn't even talk about Stonemason. Nah, there's a lot going on in this kingdom. I think they've each trashed 1 copper. Maybe not. the score suggests that they're tied on copper and... Oh, well, there's 8 silvers out, so maybe they're tied on silver and not on copper. There's another stonemason and a couple more bazaars. Has Amoffett just never hit 5? Guess not. Well, he will this turn if he doesn't... If he either doesn't trash all his copper or draws like another silver or something. Yeah, I was wondering if mikechike would pick up an altar. I'm not actually sure that it's worth getting here. There's enough other trashing. I mean, you do want bazaars and ghost ships. But if you get a gold, you know, you can stonemason for stuff on 7 like they've been doing. That might be better than altar anyway. Alright. Now we're going to start seeing some ghost ship action. I'm also wondering whether Swindler is going to go ignored in this game. There once again is no plus buy. Stonemason allows you to gain multiple cards per turn, but you don't really want to be stonemasing for 2 Swindlers. You can't stonemason for like Swindler silver. Altar gaining Swindler feels bad, so I could see Swindler going unpurchased, though it seems pretty solid here. Although I guess with so much silver in the decks, you're reasonably likely to just hit silver, and that doesn't do a whole lot. Meanwhile, I hadn't really been trying to keep track, but looks like mikechike has taken the lead in both silver and copper. Trashes the stonemason. Nice. Good use of sewers. Stonemason gold into duchies is not nearly as good in this game as it is typically. So unless you've got an altar, stonemason's playability is probably not very relevant. Gets rid of the jack. Which means no more silver gaining. Not sure if that's correct. Stonemason into coffers. Take the coffer lead. Value plays. No, that's much more correct. So, will there be any green cards bought in this game is another question. Stonemason is certainly good at lowering piles. Stonemason, Advisor, and Bazaar are all almost out. Amoffett does still have a jack. I doubt that playing his jack is going to be able to swing the points lead to where he would be winning. Oh, and I guess you can't buy 2 stonemasons in a turn anyway, so he can't end the game. Unless he finds a way to use the stonemason on playability, which actually... he's not far off from being able to do that. You stonemason like a ghost ship into 2 advisors, and then you buy stonemason and 2 bazaars. And there's still a stonemason left at that point, so it's not quite there. You'd need to be able to play 2 stonemasons. I'm not really sure what the point of that was. That advisor play. Reveal and discard a bazaar. I guess it gave him a chance to draw the silver. No, but he already had too many cards in hand. Yeah, I don't know what the point of that was. Okay, so apparently they're now tied on silver. Have they both trashed all of their copper? Not quite. I guess they must each have 1 left. Either that or one of them has more silver and the other one has... Actually, that's got to be that because... Yeah, so mikechike has 2 coppers and amoffett probably has 7 silvers to mikechike's 6, which mikechike is going to have trouble catching up on because, of course, he doesn't have his jack anymore. Although he could pick one up with stonemason in either on buy or by playing the stonemason. Meanwhile, mikechike dips into the gold pile, which I was wondering when somebody was going to do that. Another province for amoffett. So, to answer my earlier question, yes, green cards will be purchased. That is a lot of stonemasons in hand. Wow. And he doesn't get any value from stonemasoning into copper because he's already got the copper lead. Oh, well, okay. I guess that has some value, just turning stonemasons into coppers. Buys an advisor. That... If... Wait, does amoffett have the win here? If he stonemasons a province... Oh, okay. If he had stonemasoned a province into... It's 2 cards cheaper than it. So stonemason province into stonemason advisor. Yeah, stonemason province into stonemason advisor, then buy stonemason and 2 bazaars. And he would have still won by 1 point. I think it was 17 to 10. Alright, meanwhile, so mikechike is now trashing down his silvers, figuring that silver is a lost cause, picks up a duchy, and amoffett responds by grabbing a gold. Mikechike gets a province. So that win should still be there for him, assuming he can see a stonemason, but he doesn't have a stonemason this turn. I assume he'll just grab another gold. I guess he could stonemason bazaars, figuring that he's already got the lead anyway, but seems a little risky. So yeah, he grabs a gold. Alright, so all Amoffett needs to do is find a card costing 5 that he can stonemason, and then have 7 coins in hand. Which... well, if it's a gold, that's a problem. Or is it? No, he'll still... If he loses 5 points... Those are tied in gold right now, right? It won't be a 10-point swing. That much is sure. So yeah, if he stonemasons gold... Okay. I think that's Tracer agreeing with me. I mean, ultimately, it's probably not going to matter. He's got a sizable lead, and I don't really see how mikechike can realistically catch up. But 100% chance to win is better than something less than that. So mikechike can afford to stonemason a copper, because he's got copper lead anyway. In fact, I think he's got like 4 copper. So he could stonemason copper, get rid of another copper, although then he won't be able to buy a province. So maybe he just stonemasons 1 copper. Buys province? Or is he thinking about stonemasoning gold? Silver? I mean, that is worth a couple of points, but doesn't seem like it moves the needle very much. Let's see if... I mean, at this point, I guess Amoffett might as well just buy a province again and be pretty much assured of a win. Like, it doesn't really matter if he spots the stonemason related pile out or not. So here you trash copper, gain duchy, buy gold. That would break the gold tie. There's only 5 points behind. A complete dud for Amoffett is very possible here. I mean, well, Amoffett's got to buy an estate, I guess, because he doesn't know that mikechike can't province. I mean, maybe mikechike can province. We don't know that either. Oh. Okay. You discard... I guess it doesn't really matter what you discard, but I'm just trying to think if there are relevant stonemason related shenanigans. Actually, yeah, you discard estate. Yeah. Because alter estate is better than alter anything else. Well, alter duchy or province. It's pretty marginal. Amoffett doesn't know that mikechike has an estate in his hand, and we do. Okay, so this is, I guess, alter estate into duchy and buy another duchy, and then it's a tie. Okay, yeah, double duchy. Oh, that's not a tie because he trashed an estate, of course. Well, I may be proven both right and wrong here if mikechike can pull this out. Right that 100% chance of to win is better than slightly less, and wrong that it wasn't likely to matter. This is amoffett duds again. What did he buy? A copper. Interesting. I don't think that's. So granted, buying an estate doesn't do a whole lot. I don't know if it's realistic for amoffett to expect to be able to get enough copper to catch up. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Well, that's why you gotta look for those pilots, I guess. Mikechike with the comeback. All right. So here we've got Knights, my favorite card. Steward. Yeah, there's not any way to play multiple terminals, which means knights aren't as good. So that's. Oh wait, there is a way to play multiple terminals, and it's exploration. It's such an awkward thing unless you have an event that's also a gainer. Yeah, it is a lot of not buying. So, yeah, I mean, they both open with exploration and steward, and it'll be interesting to see whether they can like really turn that into something meaningful, or whether it just means that there's some turn where somebody gets to play like 2 bridge trolls or what have you. Obviously, minion as the only non-terminal card on this board is relevant. Well, I guess changeling is non-terminal in a sense, but actually, no, I don't see changeling being relevant. It's a quarry. Well, that's not going to help you get your exploration going. And Sir Michael. Oh, there is also the Village Knight. Forget which one it is. Dame Molly, maybe? Yeah, which one is Sir Michael? He's like the super attack one, right? Yeah. Wow, that's a really unfortunate trash for amoffett to lose the steward. All right, so are we just gonna have Night Wars or getting a minion? Nope, Night Wars. Okay. Well, It'll be interesting to see if somebody can win the Night War and what the consequences of that would be. Alright, here's Dame Molly. Best knight on this board. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So you trash, if you're mikechike, now that you have Dame Molly, you trash all of your other knights when they hit Amoffett's knights so that Dame Molly sticks around. And possibly don't play Dame Molly as he just did not when you're not confident that she won't hit one of Amoffett's knights. It's a difficult thing to express, but that's got to be trashed Sir Martin. It probably doesn't matter a whole lot, but there's more draw on the board than, well, there's bridge trolls, so I guess there's plenty of plus buy, but he doesn't have a bridge troll right now. And he does have a quarry. Oh, there goes Dame Molly. Okay, so the knight split I think is even right now. Amoffett's got Sylvia and Vander. mikechike has Destry and Josephine, and that would mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the trash. Yep, it's a very fast run through the knight pile there. Well, not just the purchase pile, but they're getting trashed at a pretty fast rate, unsurprisingly, since you had Stewart thinning out the decks, making it more likely that they would collide. So, one thing that I'm wondering is, what would it be possible to ensure would it be possible to ensure that I was going to say, would it be possible to ensure that the opponent's knight never hits Dame Molly by having like a really small hand where you just have like Dame Molly, some bridge trolls, and a canal, and like your goal is to do what Lemon Spawn is talking about and like have a mega turn, because you can play, you can have like a 7-card deck where you play 2 bridge trolls and then the other 5 cards you draw, so you have Dame Molly in hand. But of course, when you play Dame Molly, you can still hit the opponent's knight, so it doesn't really work. Yeah, so the minion stack, I mean, the problem with the minion stack initially is that it does get blown up by the knights, so you have to compete on the knights first. Use this villager, huh? So nobody has any villagers or coin tokens. The coin tokens aren't so important, but clearly they're not going for they're not looking to build up the villager stack. They're just gonna play some minions. Is that all the knights gone now? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Okay, so we're done with that phase of the game. So ridiculous. So mikechike has 1 minion, 2, 3. Wait, how many? Okay, so he has 4 minions. Amoffett has 3 minions. Stir to trash, yeah. Grab another minion, I guess. I mean, at some point you want a bridge troll, right? Because if... Yeah, with 3 left, I mean, he could have just let Amoffett buy 1 and then grab 2 on this turn. And then he has bridge troll, which is nice. With the quarry, I mean, it's not going to be difficult. Maybe you just go for bridge troll here and don't worry about getting 6 minions, but no, mikechike gets the 6th minion. I mean, that's probably fine too. I don't really like the ending this game is going to be tricky, I imagine, for both players. The minion deck can fall apart pretty quickly once you start greening. Did Amoffett only have 7? Oh, he got a bridge troll. When did he? Okay, so when did that happen? When the turn? So instead of buying, no wait. At some point, Amoffett got a bridge troll. Okay, I guess I just missed it. But yeah, I like the position of having one. Even if he's never going to be able to double province, just being able to hit, province duchy once could make all the difference. To say nothing of being able to hit province and still buy something else. Even if it's not points, just adding... Well, I don't actually know what. Oh, or you just double province. There you go. He had to use a coffers for that, so I don't think it can really happen again, but still, it puts him in the lead. Wait, oh, and also mikechike doesn't even have enough for province now. Because he had to play a couple of minions or discard. Which is exactly what I meant when I said the deck would fall apart once you started greening. I mean, he could buy Canal, but then he's just falling even further behind. If he buys his own bridge troll, he has to basically hope that Amoffett duds, and then... Who went first? mikechike did. So even if he duds, even if Amoffett duds and mikechike double provinces, mikechike is still in a pretty rough position because amoffett just needs to either hit province estate to win or province to tie. And he's got the canal. Oh, well, he did dud. Putting a gold into your minion deck is a little awkward. I wonder, like, would it be better to not... Yeah, would it be better to not get the gold, just take exploration? You get a villager, which means you can play your steward for draw. Mm-hmm. Did he get a bridge troll into play? He did not. Ugh. That is an unfortunate draw. So he's got 2 minions and then his next 3 cards. I mean, I guess the good news for mikechike is that he's got 2 minions in his next 3 cards. Although they probably... Oh, actually, Moffett's got a complete garbage turn coming up. Oh, man. Well, that was nicely drawn. He top decked both of his provinces. Now, of course, he doesn't know that amoffett doesn't have a minion in hand, but he's probably thinking, oh man, I top decked both of my provinces, but I'll just discard them to the minion attack. This is amazing. Yeah, rough stuff for amoffett there. So can mikechike pull this one out and mount another comeback? He does not have any villagers, so he can't play his steward for draw. Or, well, I mean, he can, but there would be no point. So he's got 1 minion in those 2 cards. He can buy a province. And he can also match... Or wait, never mind. He's the one who got the estate. I mean, how likely is it that amoffett can get to province duchy? Doesn't seem very likely. He's got the... Well, he does have 2 bridge trolls in play. He does have the minus coin token, but he also has 2 coffers. So actually, I guess it is fairly likely. I wonder if amoffett should have trashed that gold at some point with his steward. Hard to say. I did like his earlier investment in the bridge troll, but that gold might have... Which, the gold came from Survander. That might have been a problem. Yeah, I don't really know what you do here as mikechike. Buys 2 duchies. Okay. Goes in for the duchy dance. Ooh. Well, amoffett does have a villager, so he can draw here. And mikechike just drew into a much better hand. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, when I was looking at who is better off, I was not accounting for the fact that mikechike did win the minion split 6-4, which is pretty significant. And I didn't notice the timing of the bridge troll buy, initial bridge troll buy for amoffett. It's possible that that was the reason that mikechike was able to take the bridge trolls, or sorry, the minion split. So he's got enough to buy a province, but it's dangerous. He can buy 3 duchies if he wants to. Not sure if he does. He'll have no bridge trolls in play next turn, which is awkward. And he'll have no more villagers left as well. Buying 2 duchies. What are you... in saving the coin token for potential province buy... seems not crazy, but he goes for the 3 duchies. Okay. Yeah, I'm... Wait, did he... Oh, had he not played the gold yet? That's what was going on. Okay. So he didn't actually have to spend the coin tokens. These are some bad decks at this point. Although mikechike is having a pretty good turn. Can't see why he would discard here. Like, he's not very likely to see his bridge troll again if he does discard. He's got 1 minion left, but he's got a lot of green in those other cards. So I'm assuming he's just going to double duchy here. I mean, amoffett is in a much worse position on his next turn because, as mentioned, he doesn't have a bridge troll in play. It also turns out he doesn't have a minion in hand, which is really rough, but again, mikechike doesn't know that. But just buying a province when amoffett has a couple coin tokens on the mat seems... and the canal discount seems a little risky. No bridge troll is in play, but... I think I'm expecting double duchy here. Why is there a 2-point difference in their scores? Oh, mikechike has an estate, but has 1 fewer duchy, and that is a bit of a problem for him. If he buys 2 duchies, he goes ahead on duchies. amoffett buys the last duchy, they're even. I guess that's fine. Oh, he does buy the province. Okay. Well, that's probably going to turn out to be a good decision. amoffett here can get another coin token and a villager, but he doesn't get rid of the minus coin token. That's a really good discard. It's not quite as good. 6-7, that'll do it. Another win for mikechike. So in the end, the additional minions made the difference. Okay, so now we have... Well, after games with lots of trashing, we have very little trashing on this board. Technically, you can at least upgrade your coppers with Taxman, and you can potentially get the Flames Gift off of Sacred Grove, but that's not what you would really consider trashing. There is, however, King's Court. You can always, well, almost always find something exciting to do with King's Court. 5-2... No. Oh, Baker token. Okay. Gets a wine merchant. Wine Merchant does allow you to spike an early King's Court, or I guess training, maybe? I don't know why you would be going for that specifically. But spiking King's Court, double query seems more useful. Yeah, I could get behind that. Yeah, I don't quite understand the early Wine Merchant. Quarry Horse Traders could be good, yeah. I mean, the odds that they're going to collide aren't fantastic, but if they do, that's quite nice. What are you actually doing on this board? So you can do quite a lot of stuff with... Oh, no, wait, never mind. I was about to say a thing that was wrong. Right, so what are you doing? Training bakers would be nice, I guess. And then you like King's Court Baker and get like some draw and some money. Add in some plus buy from Wine Merchant. Seems alright. Still not a like amazing draw by any means. Play 2 cards to draw 3. Like it's only increasing your hand size by 1, but oh, mikechike, it's the Flames gift right away. That's very nice. Oh well, I guess they actually both got it right. Sacred Grove, so never mind. Which is one of the reasons I was wondering whether people would just ignore Sacred Grove in favor of Wine Merchant. But it is more payload than Wine Merchant if you can't get the Wine Merchant like out of the mat. But although King's Court Wine Merchant is crazy because you can, you know, you get plus 12 and then you can spend 10 of it and still get the Wine Merchant off the mat. Although I mean, I guess it's only one. That's only one more than King's Court Sacred Grove. So is it too early for King's Court? Is it ever too early for King? I mean, it probably is sometimes too early for King's Court, but I would certainly be tempted. Nope, going Baker Mission. Interesting. So presumably the reason for a mission turn is to buy training. Yeah. Train those bakers. I think there's enough payload here that winning the Baker split isn't important from a training standpoint, but it could be important from a just draw and deck reliability standpoint. That's the card that you most want to be hitting with King's Court. Allows you to play Wine Merchants. Or Sacred Groves, if that's the way you want to go. Alright, more training. It's pretty much a mirror so far, except that mikechike's took the Sacred Grove and Amoffett took the Wine Merchant. Right? It was... yeah. So I think now mikechike is going to win the Baker split if that's relevant, or maybe not. Maybe he won't get to his Sacred Grove here. Did Amoffett get his wine merchant out? Yeah, he did. Okay. I guess they both just want to buy King's Courts while they don't have plus buy. Makes sense. And as I said, I don't actually know how important the Baker split is anyway. But for what it's worth, Moffat will probably be able to take them both right here. Yep, definitely will be able to. Does he want to? Or would he rather pick up another King's Court? I think that's what I would have done. Gotta have something to play the King's Court on, of course. Discard a treasure to gain a card costing up to 4. It's a little awkward. The 4 cost cards are not quite what you want. Yeah, I mean, you could definitely take Horse Traders for plus buy. But given the hand size situation, you might prefer Sacred Grove. Gains another quarry. I don't know about that. Yeah, I like Moffat's play better to pick up a Horse Traders. I mean, I guess with the King's Court, maybe you don't need more plus buy because you're just going to King's Court a Sacred Grove or Wine Merchant, as the case may be. Did he only have one buy? Oh, he did, yeah. So it seems like Baker's and King's Courts are going to pile. I don't expect any other card to pile unless somebody can use that to end the game. Which could happen very quickly between the quarries and the King's Court, Wine Merchant or King's Court, Sacred Grove, and all the Baker tokens. Moffat has 12 Baker tokens. mikechike has been spending his. Well, of course, Moffat also has more Bakers. I don't know. I think you got 4 buys, and he could just buy like King's Court, King's Court, King's Court Province. I don't think that would be completely ridiculous. Mission for coins. That's pretty brilliant, actually. That is pretty brilliant. Nine coffers. King's Court, Province, Mission. Wait, what? Yeah, I don't know what that was about. Oh, because of the quarries, maybe? Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see that number there, though. I don't know. 1 cost King's Courts. What is happening? But he didn't King's Court a plus buy card, which is really unfortunate right now for him because he's got a whole lot of spending power and, I mean, he can just double Province. He probably needs to. But if he'd managed to King's Court that Sacred Grove and have 4 buys and some more money to boot, it still wouldn't have been enough to end the game, so maybe it doesn't matter too much. again with only the two buys. Does he have his wine merchant in on the mat? Nope. Okay, well now I can't see how much money he has anymore for some reason. So I was trying to click off the Sacred Grove card, but I think he had to spend a couple coffers to double province, which is probably what he wants to do. I don't really... Well... maybe it... Is it better for him to province mission? So... Mikechike... Yeah, mikechike is going to have a huge dud. Of course, amoffett doesn't know that. In general, mikechike should be a threat to double province. If he, has a really good turn, he's a threat to triple. I don't think... Well, with 8 coffers, yeah, he could be a threat to quad. Probably not, though. I mean, if mikechike were to quad next turn, amoffett just loses anyway, so you probably shouldn't worry about that too much. Okay, he just double provinces. Yeah, I guess he's not worried about the triple province too much. I think that's probably fine. Because mikechike has to very specifically King's Court his wine merchant to even have 3 buys. Or sorry, his... Or no, wait, does mikechike have both a... Yeah, he has both a wine merchant and a Sacred Grove, so I guess he doesn't actually, but... Okay, so... This should be amoffett's win here. Yeah, easily. And would have been regardless of whether mikechike had bought a province or not. Who gave you that willy? Oh, will-o-wisp. DG is saying that mikechike should have bought mission on his last turn because he knew he didn't have King's Court coming up and he would want to see that. Makes sense, but of course it wouldn't have mattered anyway because amoffett was going to buy 3 provinces regardless. Alright, so we have sauna and catapult for trashing. We have courtyard, avanto, and possibly diplomat for draw. Diplomat can definitely get activated by the catapults. There's both market and charm for plus buy, so there's plenty of stuff that you can do. Plus there's alms, which plays nicely with market and catapult and trashing. Although it is a little bit annoying, if you go for the sauna trashing, you can't actually use alms. Talisman also does not combine with alms. Oh, there's moat. Yeah. Moat to block catapult is certainly useful. And as I learned in the match between Cavo Sapien and Swordfish Trombone, you can have a moat and block the attack and still activate the diplomat. So that's a thing. All right, alms for sauna, alms for catapult, alms for silver, alms for diplomat. So different openings. That's cool. So mikechike is going for the sauna trashing. Amoffett is going for catapult. I don't quite understand the diplomat, given that mikechike didn't get a catapult. But maybe he is anticipating that mikechike will get a catapult, which, I mean, he probably will, so it's just a little odd on the opening, perhaps. No, just gets a silver. Okay. Moffat also picks up a silver. I think mikechike has both of the saunas, right? No, Moffat got a sauna. Okay. So that would explain why he, in part, why he wants a silver. Tracer would start 2x catapult. I'm not sure about that. I mean, if I were second player and my opponent opened catapult, I would be thinking about catapult diplomat. Though, I mean, you also have to have like a 3-4 to know that that's happening, so that's pretty specific. Alright, so what does Amoffett want here? He's already got a sauna. Okay, he gets another silver. I mean, the nice thing about silver is that you can catapult it too, and it's a pretty good attack. Get a village for mikechike. Does he have terminals? I mean, diplomat can be terminal. I wouldn't want charm just yet. I think I would rather have market right now because of the interaction with alms. Although the charm gaining ability is pretty nice. You can gain like sauna diplomat, village catapult, eventually like Avanto market, that sort of thing. So maybe that does make more sense. Well, this is a nice turn for Mike. So what is he going to want to buy here? Trash is all the way down to 5. So probably another market or a charm. I think charm would be pretty good now. It's going to do more for gaining than market unless he's not playing any treasures, which he might be getting to the point of not playing treasures, but... Oh, village courtyard. Okay, well, if he wants more draw, that's the way to do it. Courtyard can also set up your future turns, so that's pretty nice. And can also help you activate diplomat, sort of. Yeah, you have to already have a small hand size for it to, like, I mean, it's increasing your hand size even though you're putting one of the cards back on your deck. But you can top deck a diplomat or a moat if you want to block attacks. So that's just another way of saying it can help you set up your future turns. But okay, so now he gets the charm. So despite the fact that mikechike has ignored the catapult, he seems to be ahead here. just from the speed of the sauna trashing. Even though amoffett has also done sauna trashing. I'm not sure who DG is saying is over trashed. It's got to be mikechike, because like looking at amoffett's hand, there's no way you call that over trashed. I don't know. I think he's doing fine. I mean, he could have had some bigger turns recently if he had kept some coppers rather than trashing them, but you know, whatever. You do want to avoid, given the catapult attack, having to draw through those coppers. So I think, and given the way that with the charm gaining, I think that it's fine to get pretty thin, because you can ramp back up pretty quickly. Yeah, I tend to think mikechike's heavily favored at this point. I don't know what amoffett really needs to do to come back. What is that last card, and was it? Oh, diplomat. Oh, okay, yeah. That's why he didn't draw it. Yep, makes sense. Doing what I talked about. More markets, more charms, more villages. You know, what you can't do with Courtyard is top deck multiple cards, of course, because the next Courtyard will just draw them. So I'm assuming that mikechike will not be looking to put any more Courtyards into his deck, although maybe if he gets to the point where he's got enough charms, he'll want to do that. So what's he got on top there? A sauna? Yeah, I think 2 saunas, actually. So yeah, he might want another Courtyard now. I could also see him wanting to pick up a moat. Or he could just try to get through the saunas to the Avantos. It seems slow, though. But yeah, I think he needs a little bit more draw. Trashing one of the silvers, you know, with the sauna trashing would help. He could also pick up a catapult at this point. I think that'd be pretty strong. Amoffett's already behind. Just, you know, punish him further. He hasn't invested in the diplomats. Well, I think he does have one diplomat, but he's not thin enough that he's seeing it reliably. Oh, gaining 2 saunas is a way to pile through the Avantos. Bye. So he's already not doing what DG suggested. He could go 4-4-3, though, with a charm for gain here. And gain, like, diplomat in 1 sauna. Or catapult village. Diplomat 1 sauna. Well, none of that results in him actually getting an Avanto, of course. Wow, another charm market pair? That seems like overkill. Because at some point, you're probably going to want to buy points. And when you're buying points, the charms are just basically silvers. Not all of them, because if you haven't, if you have enough money, then you can buy points plus something else and use the charm ability there. But you only need so many of them. I don't know. All right, trash the other silver. Yay. Okay, so here he could do... Let's see, 9 to get, do the Diplomat and 2 Saunas thing, plus 1 Avanto. 12 is a Catapult. Play another... Oh, no, that doesn't work. You can't do gains at 2 different cost levels. Okay, Village Courtyard Platinum. That's a completely different direction than I was thinking. I haven't been paying too much attention to what Amoffett is doing, because in theory, if mikechike plays the rest of this game well, it shouldn't matter. But I'm not sure that mikechike is playing this part of the game as well as he could be. Amoffett may also be starting to get to the point where he's thin enough that you don't want to pick up a catapult as mikechike, because you're going to be activating the Diplomat. That's, I assume, why Amoffett is not playing his catapult, is because he doesn't want to activate the Diplomat for mikechike. Though at this point, I'm not sure that it really matters too much to mikechike whether it gets activated or not. It's got several villages. What do you top deck here? I guess a sauna? Courtyard? Okay. I think you want to play... What? Okay, well... Oh, right, you were going to have to draw it anyway. Well, why not play the courtyard and top deck the sauna? I see no downside to that. I guess having the sauna top deck doesn't really do anything one way or another. You just want your courtyards to come, or at least one of the courtyards to come towards the end of the shuffle so that you can top deck something with it. Top decking some other card makes that slightly more likely. Yeah, see, this is why I didn't understand all of this charm for... ooh. All of, the number of charms that he bought, because there he was just playing them all as silvers. Yeah, they gave him plus pi, but he wasn't using the plus pi anyway. Well, Amoffett activated the Diplomat for him. That was going to be a rough turn, potentially, for mikechike, but... Did Amoffett need to do that? I guess he did so that he could activate his own diplomat. Yeah, it's unfortunate for him. I mean, he's pretty far behind anyway, but... Alright, so amoffett picks up a colony. He's not going to be able to do any better than that going forward. So it's still hard to see how he's going to catch up. I still say top deck Sauna. No. Alright, so I guess Tracer doesn't think that mikechike actually has outplayed amoffett so much as just getting really lucky early with a thinning, which is certainly possible. But honestly, amoffett isn't as far behind as I thought he would be by this point. So what's the other buy here? Village Market. Catapult Market. Village Diplomat. Well, okay, increasing the diplomat density of the deck does increase the chances that catapult helps mikechike, so it's reasonable. So amoffett picks up a platinum, so now he can do more than just buy a colony, which is good, but if mikechike doesn't dud, then it might not be good enough. Well, this is looking... Oh, huh. This was going to be a dud, potentially, for mikechike. Okay, so on this board we have Exorcist, just purchased by amoffett for trashing, also Vampire, also Salvager, also Rats. I don't know if I don't know if any of those trashers are the kinds of trashers that make Rats worth investing in. Then you've got I don't know what else you've got. You're not going to be able to play many actions here. It's okay to have a little terminal collision because it'll let you get the arena points, which I don't know if that's going to make a difference or not, but contraband looks playable. Really? You're gonna have to buy provinces at some point. I don't know. I don't know about that. I mean, you can always trash it once you're ready to buy provinces, I guess. But you're gonna want ghosts. What are you ghosting, though? I mean, probably exactly werewolf. Which is good, but not necessarily game-changing. Oh, you can ghost the will-o-wisps. That's right. Okay. Or imps. If you get exorcist to pick up some of those. Ghosting, I mean, in theory, if you ghost an imp and then have the imp play a will-o-wisp, you've gotten some draw and the ability to play a second terminal, but it's a lot of effort for not that much payoff. So I think without getting into the specifics of what he's suggesting, I think I basically agree with Tracer that, like, that's more trouble than it's worth. At least I think that's what he's suggesting. But neither of them are taking that line, so we won't necessarily find out whether that was in fact better. And as good as Werewolf is, and as much fun as it is to just dump a whole bunch of them on your opponent during the night phase, on this board, the lack of terminal space, the lack of non-terminal draw, means you aren't going to be doing yourself any favors by having a whole bunch of them in hand and not actually being able to buy points. Treasure maps may get bought here. Well, that's a bold claim. And one that I don't understand. Really annoys me how these cards like never go away when you're a spectator. Just that isn't a problem when you're a player. At least not most of the time. It does happen occasionally. The one on the bottom. Oh yeah, I didn't mention Expedition as another source of draw. And I think the primary impact of that, though, is it means that particularly if you're going to get attacked by hexes that could potentially reduce your hand size, it increases your likelihood to have like the right money cards to buy points as opposed to allowing you to do anything fancy. Yeah, province time. I agree with that. And Amoffett does appear to be running away with this a little bit. Wait, did he not discard? Didn't he have a Will-O-Wisp in hand that he could have discarded? Draws a Will-O-Wisp. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah, okay. I'm wrong. He did? Yeah, this game is being played pretty quickly, so I'm doing a poor job of keeping track of what's going on. That is the first time I have ever seen the idle pile empty. I assume it's not actually that uncommon an occurrence, but new to me. I mean, yeah, that seems fairly likely given that there's vampires that can gain duchies. Well, they only have one vampire each. Yeah, I agree with that. There's no time. Amazing. Yeah, so mikechike's just going to be even further behind now with Amoffett able to buy a province. Oh no. Boo. Ideal. Yeah, gaining a card costing up to 4, not super useful here. Envious. Well, unfortunately for mikechike, Envious does not do anything to idols. Oh, it was enough though. It was enough to deny him a province. Well, maybe. We'll see what the idle boons are. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that duchy pile out that Wandering Winder predicted looks like it's going to come to pass. Ooh, the big locust play. Not that it matters. Well, actually, it does. I mean, it matters in the sense that it ended the game. All right. Well, I didn't have much to say about that game, but um, overall, yeah, I agree. There were some definitely some interesting games. I think overall, I'm I liked what Amoffett did a little bit better in general. I mean, these are both better players than I am. They're in B, so I think it's safe to assume that they know some things that I don't. But yeah, I felt like Amoffett probably outplayed mikechike a little bit and got a little unlucky a couple times. Um, but yeah, it's cool to see high level players